Okay. I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. Like, scratch that. I'm not black, I'm Canadian. What kind of Canadian are you? I'm Jamaican. Is my skin close to black? Sure. For the sake of the people that live in the United States, I'm black. However, I'm not first to say I'm black. I'm quick to say I'm Jamaican. I'm not gonna say I'm black. You can physically see what the fuck I am. Why am I gonna tell you what color my skin is? That's literally irrelevant. So if someone's telling you they're not black, don't get offended. Get educated. People who say they're black don't have an identity. That's why they say they're black. And the people we are referring to are the ones that were in slavery in the United States that got pulled from all these black colored countries and mixed up. So now they don't know where the fuck they're from, so they just say black. So for Afro-Latina wants to say she's not black, she damn well is not black. The fuck, she knows where the fuck she's from. She's African and Latina. The fuck has to know she's black for? You see her skin is not black. Why does it matter? Like, please, fix it. Fix the education system.
After confirmation. You can't tell me I'm not black just because I'm Jamaican.
I think that Black Americans that, you know, haven't really left the country, haven't wanted to educate themselves outside of their ethnicity, haven't, decided to make friends with people outside of their ethnic groups, or just sees the world in an American-centric view, they would assume that black means them.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to this channel once again. Here is a question that starts argument all over the internet. Why do so many Jamaicans say I'm Jamaican instead of simply saying I'm black? For some people, that answer makes perfect sense. For others, it's confusing. And for some, it's actually controversial. You will hear people ask, are they denying their African roots? Why not just identify as black? What's the difference between Jamaican and African American anyway? The reality is that this conversation goes much deeper than most people realize, because this is not really about skin color. It's about history, culture, nationality, and how different parts of the black diaspora see themselves. So that's why I've compiled these videos. Let's watch them until the end, and then we'll come back and break it all down together.
I don't care if I'm the first person to say this, but us Jamaicans, we are not black. There is a difference between being from the Caribbean and actually being black. Let me ask you a question. Are Bajans and Trinidadians black? No, they aren't. In addition to that, our history, our culture are so much different compared to these other countries that are actually black. So Richie, if you're not black, then what are you? I am Jamaican. Let me ask you a question. If you were to see a very dark Indian man, would you consider that person a black person or just an Indian person?
I'm telling you, I really hate it here, bro. It's like, I'm not black enough for the black people. Mind you, I'm a black presenting woman in America. I've been here since I was 8. I'm now 32. But I'm also not Jamaican enough for the Jamaicans because, one, I sound American, and two, I don't know. I'm not Jamaican enough for them, even though I was born there and didn't come here till I was 8. But it's the little comments like this. I'm like, so what would you like me to say? Would you like me to refer to myself as a black Jamaican? Would that make it better than referring to myself as black? Serious question, because I'm just it's the let's be clear that made me like, well, damn, what am I unclear about? I can't win. I can't win. What am I somebody help me. I'm having an identity crisis.
So I think I'm finding my people on TikTok. This is why. So I am Jamaican. Most of y'all probably don't know that because I'm not like your quintessential Jamaican person. So I want to have this conversation about what happens when you're born into different intersections. Not only am I black, as in I'm West Indian, was raised in a predominantly white suburban area, but I'm very Americanized even though I was born in the Caribbean. So I'm dealing with these 4 identity intersections. And growing up, I thought I was really weird because I don't quite fit in with your traditional Black Americans because I wasn't born here. Culturally, my references are somewhat different. Like my barbecue songs are different. That's a great example. I was raised in a PWI, predominantly white area. I went to a PWI for college. So culturally, I don't really fit in with white people either because I'm not your white girl. Like I'm not. And then going back to my culture and my roots, I don't really fit in with Jamaicans either because they make fun of me for being more Americanized. I saw a video on this and homegirl was talking about how in West Indian culture you get made fun of for being Americanized. So here I am just existing in this very strange place of really not fitting into any bucket because even though I was born in Jamaica, I don't have a Jamaican accent. I can't code switch going back and forth to Patwa, and that's fine. I've had to come to learn to accept myself just as I am because, like, what's the problem? I'm just a multicultural, don't mind my boxes, diverse woman. Like, what's wrong with that? But I know there's more people like me out there who don't necessarily fit in any of those pockets. Where are y'all? Send help. Like, I don't have the accent. I do cook the food. I am black. And I also have a very expansive vocabulary and just so many other things. Where are you guys?
So hopefully y'all could go back to this video through this comment and see the video and then read the comments. The reason why I'm replying to this comment is because this generally symbol like is the general idea of the whole comment section. There people, black Americans, are saying that Africans or any foreign black people will say I'm not black, I'm where I'm from, claiming their ethnicity, which I've done before, you know, because the reason why most of us do that is because we've experienced more racial prejudice from other black people than we hear from white people, which is the craziest part. You think that's a lie? It's not. It's really not. More black Americans will insult us based on us being Africans, which I've never understood why. White people generally don't do that. I guess it's because they still generalize every black person as a black American, so they won't know what to say, but they never come at us like that. But black people will, which it's funny. It's funny. But half the time it's not, you know, it's degrading, to say the least. So why would I want to be associated with someone that's degrading my people or where I'm from because I came to this country and you've been here for a while? That's the part that hurts most people. So they don't want to be associated with that. And you don't want to be associated with, depending on the area you are in, you don't want to be associated with like gang related activity or any miscellaneous activity because you're African. You're not from this country. You could get deported back to where you're from. So to claim being black American might put you in an association you do not want to be associated with. So that's why most Africans hang out with only Africans, and most Caribbeans hang out with Caribbeans because that's their people. They know what to do and what not to do to not go back home or whatever they want to do. But that's my general idea of this situation. We just don't want to be like, it's complicated, but it's really not. Black people just see us as foreigners, not as other black people. So why shouldn't we claim that I'm not black, I'm African or whatever I am? It's as simple as that.
I'm in a teaching mood, so I'll do it. I always thought Jamaican people were black. They're not. Just because they're not African American. I'm not from Africa, I'm from America. I'm a black American. I've never been to Africa. My ancestors go back more than 400 years in America. I have a lineage that's longer than Nigeria has been a country. I'm a black American. Their skin color is the same as mine. I agree. But they're Jamaicans. Just like they're Nigerians. When they mark Nigeria. When they mark Nigerian American. When Jamaicans mark, I'm Jamaican ancestry. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Dominican. I'm all these things. Black was something in America for the Negro race. All these people came over here and confused all of you because they assimilated to be like us. They're not like us. We're not the same.
My name is Jamie. As you can hear this accent, it's Jamaican because I'm Jamaican. That's my accent. Any Jamaican in the house? There we go. Thank you. I brought him here specifically so I would have someone. Like that's why he's here. Pay for that. Jamaicans, I'd say, well, shit. When you do it in white people, they get scared. And I'm like, oh, it's not a real gun. But yeah. So that's how we express ourselves. But yeah, I'm Jamaican. This is why the accent's here. And being Jamaican is it's a pretty different scale of things. Like when I just came to America, for instance, one special thing happened when I just came to America. For some reason, black American told me that I wasn't black. I know it makes no fucking sense, right? Same look that you give it, that's what I got. I went to a school in New York, and the school that I went to was predominantly black. Like, oh, black is it? Like, the only white person there was Mexican. Like, that's how black it was. That's what it was. And going to that school, we, was told by, black Americans, no, we're not black. I'm like, fuck you, you might not. He's like, because you're Jamaican. I'm like, oh, all right, so you're American. So you're not black. He's like, no, we're black American. So I just walked away confused as fuck. But it got me thinking, imagine if someone from the Ku Klux Klan just jumped out at me and just went, hold it, nigga. And I'm like, hold on. I know what you're thinking, but I am not black. I'm Jamaican. And he's like, oh, shucks, man. My mistake. It's hard to tell you guys apart. I'm like, hey, I've been making that same mistake my entire life.
It's really too early for these strays on my wall. Really too early. People don't read it to me now because I have my glasses. Just read it for me. Please, me I beg you now, before me answer that boy. When I finish reading, germs, you batty boy. Go crawl back up in your mama because it look like you're unfinished. Me never go up on your wall, go post anything. You come right over here so with your germs, your dirty self. Stinking more, boy. Listen, me black and me proud Jamaican. Okay? So back up under your mama, okay? Don't play with me on this blessed morning. Because I'm not the one to play with. Okay?
Let's not do this, bro. You're being disingenuous now. Jamaicans are some of the most conscious people. Black people at that, alright? Do you know who Marcus Garvey was? Marcus Garvey is the one that inspired Martin Luther King and the Malcolm X and all of the black leaders and black liberation fighters. Okay? And do you know where Rastafari came from? It came from Jamaica. And Rastafari is a very conscious group of people that want liberation for black people. Always talking about going back to Africa. Let's not do this, bro. Let's not do this, please. Don't do that, bro. You being this. Come on now, bro.
My family's Jamaican. As you can tell. I got all the inner workings. But I hate when they say Jamaican people ain't black. What you mean? How are we not black? If I'm not black, explain that. What was that then? What was that sound just there then? Oh, you Jamaican, you not black. Kamala, she's Jamaican Indian, she not black. Nigga, I'm Jamaican. Okay? I got all the intricacies and inner workings. And I'm still black. Let's make it make sense, people. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel.
So, after watching the entire video, I think the biggest takeaway is that a lot of these arguments are not actually about race. They are about perspective. And more importantly, they are about how different societies teach people to understand identity. if you grow up in the United States, um, race often becomes one of the first things people notice and discuss. That's because American history created a very specific racial framework. The experiences that shaped African Americans are unique and deeply rooted in the history of the United States. But when you look at Jamaica, the lens is usually different. For many Jamaicans, nationality comes first. Not because the race does not matter, not because African ancestry is being denied, but because being Jamaican already carries an entire culture, history, and identity attached to it. When somebody says they are Jamaican, they are not simply telling you where they were born. They are telling you about the food they grew up eating, the music they grew up hearing, the slang they speak, the values they were raised with, the stories they learned, um, the struggles their country experienced, and the victories that their people celebrate. That's why many Jamaicans feel that simply being placed into a broad racial category does not fully tell their story. And at the same time, I can also understand why some people outside the Caribbean become confused when they hear someone say, I'm Jamaican, not black. When they hear someone say, I'm Jamaican, not black, they may interpret that as rejecting African roots. But I don't think that is how most people mean it. Most people are simply making a distinction between race and nationality. You can be black and Jamaican, black and Nigerian, black and British, black and American. Those identities can exist together. They are not mutually exclusive. Another point that I think deserves attention is the idea that black diaspora is incredibly diverse. Sometimes online conversations treat black people around the world as if everyone shares the same exact history. But that is not simply true. There are shared connections, there are shared struggles, there are shared ancestral links, but there are also major differences in culture, language, traditions, and historical experiences. The journey of a Jamaican family is different from the journey of an African American family. Both stories matter. They both deserve respect. Neither should erase the other. And then there's the group that probably understands this tension better than anyone else. The children of immigrants, the second generation, the people who grow up between worlds. Maybe their parents are Jamaican, but they were born in New York. Maybe they were raised in somewhere like London. They are constantly navigating multiple identities at the same time. To some people, they are Jamaicans. To others, they are American, British, or Canadian. And sometimes they feel like they don't fully belong in either category. That's a challenge many people in the diaspora know all too well. What I personally take away from this discussion is that identity does not have to be treated like a competition. You don't have to choose one part of yourself and erase the other. People are complex. History is also complex. Culture is complex. And that's okay. The more we understand the differences within the global Black community, the more we can appreciate just how rich and diverse that community actually is. Instead of arguing over who gets to claim what label, maybe the better conversation is understanding why people choose the labels they do. Because most of the time, they are not trying to divide themselves from others. They are trying to accurately describe their own experience. But now I want to hear from you guys. How do you identify yourself first? Do you lead with your nationality, your ethnicity, your race, or do you think it depends entirely on the situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. So thank you so much guys for watching until the end. If you are coming across this channel for the first time or you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next reaction.